Hello everyone, this will be a brief introduction to Zotero for students. Zotero is a free application for citing and referencing material. There are many YouTube videos on Zotero already. However, many of them explain the application in great detail. This isn't meant to go through all the details. Instead, this is to help you get you going as quickly as possible for any academic paper. So let's first start by what's a citation look like and what does a reference look like. So you can see from here that this is a citation. It puts a small record into your paper that shows the source of your material. Notice that it's got the author, comma, and a year. Very simplified. Now it may also include a page number, but it doesn't have to. So that's what a reference looks like, or a citation looks like. A reference, on the other hand, looks like this, where you've got the details of the citation itself. So it gives you more details of who the author or authors are, a long title. It might actually have a web link or something. Like, it just has lots more detail. So a reference page is also called a bibliography. The first thing we want to do is create a Zotero account. This is free. But you will need an individual account to keep track of all your citations. So first thing we're going to do is go to Zotero.org. And it's tempting to download first, and you could, but instead I'm going to have you create an account. So if you click on this login button up here, if you have an account already, you can just log into it, but we don't have one yet. So we're going to click on this, register for a free account. And in here, give it a account name. Use the email address that was asked that you use that email. So I'm just going to use a temporary email address for now. And it's not good enough password. So just be prepared with a better password. Okay, so I've got a Zotero account now. So if I want to try to log in, well, I'm logged in at the moment. Now we can move to the next phase. Okay, now we want to download and install Zotero. Obviously, there's a big download button. It is available for Mac, Windows, Linux, and iOS. Before I do that, I'm just going to note that this is Microsoft Word, and this is the typical buttons we have up top. Now, a new button will be added up here after we're completed. So right now, before you download and install, I just recommend that Microsoft Word be closed. We'll go ahead and download. Notice that there's two different kinds of downloads here. First, we want to download Zotero 6. So go ahead and do that. Install. Welcome to Zotero setup. Just do standard, defaults, and finally launch Zotero now. Okay, I'm just going to minimize the browser for a moment. Oh, pop the browser back up. So let's not continue here, but let's just go to the application for a moment. So the application is installed, running. However, we need to make sure that the application itself is logged in under our account. So we want to go under the edit button, preferences, and then we want to go to sync, this button here. Put your username and password in. Click OK. And pretty much that's all you have to do. Just to confirm, you might want to go in preferences, sync. Oh, so it did not save my password. So that's one thing you want to just double check on and make sure it retains your username and password. We want to set up syncing. That's important because we want it to retain the account. And leave everything as the default, so don't change any of the settings, and we'll click OK. So one more time, I'm just going to go advanced or edit preferences, and the account is now linked. So that's good. So we're good to go on the application itself. Now go back to the web page, and you'll notice whatever browser you use, it wants to install a connector. So I'm currently using Firefox. You can use any browser you like, but I'm going to install the connector for Firefox. So we'll go click on install, and Firefox says, are you willing to install this? And we say continue. The extension will have permission. That's fine. And it's success. So Zotero was added. We'll just click OK. Now it may not show up here yet, so you might want to manage the extension. If you click on the extensions button, it shows the extension running. Right click on that and say pin to toolbar. Now you'll notice that there is a letter Z up there. And if we click on that, it says, great, you've installed the Zotero connector. Now we don't need this web page anymore, and we're completed on this. What we want to make sure is that we have it plugin installed for Microsoft Word. So I'm just going to go into Word now. For now, just open a blank document, and notice that there is a new button up top called Zotero. This is great. So this is what we expect to see up here. If you don't have this, then it's not installed correctly. So before proceeding, you need to make sure of 3 things. 1, make sure that your account is synced with the application running in the background. 2, make sure that you have a extension loaded for your web browser, whatever web browser you're using. And 3, make sure the Microsoft Word has the plugin for Zotero listed up here. So it should look exactly like that. If those 3 conditions aren't met, then go back and make sure that those are all working before you proceed to making a document. Okay, we're going to work on making one type of citation first, and then I'll show you the other kind of citation. So assuming that you have most of your paper written already, we're gonna assume that there's title page and formatting. So I'm not going to go through all of that in this document. We're just going to look at just the citation itself. So let's say we want to talk about Amazon Cloud's service and how much it costs. So Amazon offers free trials, 12 months free, always free, and they have a number of different tiers here. So here we have that Amazon EC2 has 750 hours, for example. So let's say we go into here and we say Amazon claims that EC2 tier has 750 hours. So now we're really putting it in our own words. We're not copying and pasting, but we're just saying that Amazon claims that EC2 has 750 hours. Of course, you can elaborate a lot more on that. I'm just doing it very short for purposes of demonstration here. Right, now, how do we get this in? How do we now say that where we got the information from? Because in this paper, you're stating in your academic paper that Amazon claims this, but how do we know this is true? Well, this is where the citation comes in and the reference. So notice at the end of the sentence, before the period, we want to put a citation here. But we haven't created the reference yet. So what we need to do is go to our web browser plugin. We want to save to Zotero. So notice the button changed from a Z to a, looks like a square, save to Zotero. It doesn't really matter what the button looks like, but I'm going to click this button right now. When I did that, it says I'm saving to the Zotero My Library. And it gives you a very quick snapshot. So we could go into here and put our citation in. But what does that look like in Zotero? Well, if you look in the Zotero app, we notice that it's captured that. And it's saying a lot of really good information here. It's telling us it's a web page, the title of the web page, the abstract of the web page. When did you capture that information? Because web pages can change. And most importantly, a URL. So it's got a lot of really good information here. All right, now we can go back to our Word and enter in the citation. So we'll click this first button here that says Add Edit Citation. And here is where you need to choose what kind of citation do we want to use. Now, most papers and most academics will want it to be APA or American Psychological Association, preferably the 7th edition. You have to do this once for every paper that you make. Once I've chosen it once, I don't have to choose it again, but I'll choose APA 7th edition and click OK. Now you'll notice it's coming up with a search box. It's saying, what do you want to cite? Well, right now I only have one, and I know that it's about Amazon or AWS. So I'm going to put in the search box AW, and the first two letters will do, but you can type in a lot more. So AW shows me that I have a citation in my database now. So I'm going to click on that, and it fills in the citation for me. Now, just to confirm, I want to hit enter. So I hit enter, and I now have a valid citation in my document. So once again, this is my typed in information, and this is a citation. And notice I can't edit it. I can delete it, but I can't edit this citation because it's part of the application. Always make sure that it's before the last period so that we know that the citation belongs to this sentence. And then you could start the next sentence here. The next sentence, right? Okay, so great. We have a citation, but we're not done yet. Now we need to have a reference. Normally you'd put this on a page of itself. So you would go insert a page break. You type in reference. And now we want to fill in our reference page. So we go back to Zotero and we add the bibliography. Once we do that, we don't have to do anything else. We don't have to search. We don't have to type in anything. It just automatically fills this. So the reference page is automated. Don't mess with it. Don't touch it. Just put in your bibliography and you're done. as you add more citations up here, so let's say I say one more citation, and let's say I add another citation to this same website. So I go add citation, and I go AWS, and I add it because I might have further down in the document, I might want to cite it once more. So notice there's now 2 citations. If we go down to the references, it hasn't added 2 references because that would be redundant. We don't need multiple references, but we do need multiple citations if we're continually getting information from that website. So that's it for putting things in your own word and referencing. All right, now we're going to cover a direct copy and paste. So I'll use this web page example once more, and we will find something that we will directly copy and paste from this website. So doesn't really matter. Let's just go to any web page that we might use. And right here, I'm just going to pick any sentence at random and copy it. So I'm going to copy it to the buffer, the clipboard. So in Microsoft Word, I'm going to paste. So now I have a direct copy and paste. It's there to there. For any direct copy and paste, you must have quotation marks around it. So I have to have a quotation mark before and after. So it has to be like that. If you don't do that, that's considered plagiarism in the academic terms. So we always put quotation marks around anything that we copy and paste. Now, once again, I'm going to add a citation, AWS. We already have that in our database. We'll click on that. We'll hit enter. And we're almost done, but you also need one more period after that. So that this quotation, it may end in a period. You know, you could remove this last period if that bothers you, but it's okay to have a period within the quotation, but you must have a period after the citation. Once again, go down to references. Now I started with a whole new document, and we add our bibliography, and that's it. We're done. So now you understand the 2 different kinds of citations. One is you're typing your own words and telling us where you got that information from. The other is a direct copy and paste and telling us where the information is from. So hopefully that's been helpful for you. And if you have any other questions, you can certainly put it in the comments.